Hey everyone, welcome to a bonus episode of the Truth Sweetheart podcast. It is your host, Annette, the creator of A Wild Ride Called Life. I actually wanted to do this episode a few weeks ago after I had watched a show called Super Soul Sunday. It's hosted and created by Oprah Winfrey. And she had a guest on there which I'm sure most of you have heard of, or I hope you've heard of, named Shonda Rhimes. And Shonda Rhimes was talking about her life, sharing all the behind the scenes of her being a mother with three children and her book. And it is called The Year of Yes: How to Dance It Out, Stand in the Sun, and Be Your Own Person. And I was absolutely intrigued by the whole show. I sat and watched the whole thing, about an hour or so. And her whole reason of naming it or giving it the title, The Year of Yes, and why she did that was just amazing. She spent so many years just putting things off and saying no to invites, to uh, networking, to just things that some of us may jump at the chance to go for. Those of us that like to be around people. She loved to be around people, but there was just times where she's like, no, I just don't feel like going. And she decided that the year of yes was going to happen. She wanted to change her life, and she was telling us how we could change ours too. Now, even though this was published back in 2015, it absolutely still applies now. And I saw so much of her and realized that that applied to me so much. I used to say no to a lot of things, and I decided that I needed to say yes. I wanted to go on that trip. I want to write the book. I even wanted to start this podcast, and I had really no idea how I was going to do it or how often. I just knew that's what I wanted to do. And so I said, yes, this is what I'm going to do. Now, back it up just a little bit. If you don't know who Shonda Rhimes is, she is the creator of Grey's Anatomy and Scandal, and even the producer of How to Get Away with Murder. And first of all, okay, Grey's Anatomy I've been watching since its inception. 15 years, I think it's been now. And then Scandal was a no-brainer. I love Kerry Washington. And so all the actors that she had brought onto these series, all these seasons, it just made you glued to the TV. So when Shonda Rhimes speaks, it's like I need to listen to her because there's a method to her madness and why she decided to do everything that she wanted to do. And so I encourage you to sit back, especially during this time, and evaluate everything that you're doing in your life. Are there things are there things out there that you've been saying no to because you put yourself last, because you don't put yourself on as a priority? I know that I do as a mom. Even as an entrepreneur, I've noticed that I've not done a lot of things. I forgot to eat because I would sit behind the computer for 8 hours and I was so engulfed in what I was doing. I was so motivated that I didn't realize it was 2 o'clock already and I hadn't even eaten. All I had was coffee. Or when my son walks up from downstairs to upstairs and goes, "Mom, what are you doing? What's for lunch?" And I had to sit there and go, "Oh man, I haven't even left the seat. I just kept putting things off." And that's when self-care comes into play as well, because I wouldn't go get a pedicure because I was like, no, I don't need to spend the money. I need to buy groceries. My son's going to need new clothes for school. He's going to need the books. He's going to want a skateboard equipment, or all these little things. And I would keep saying no to myself. So I had to reevaluate what I was doing and say, you know what? Okay, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to work for from this time to this time, but I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. I'm going to have a conversation with my son. I'm going to make him some chicken nuggets or mac and cheese or whatever the thing that he wants is, and I'm going to take a minute because I have to. I can't keep saying no, 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 do something else when I should be doing these things. And it makes you happier. It changes your whole perspective and it changes your life. So as I'm listening to her decide on how she wanted to have her life, she didn't want to get married, but she wanted kids. And there's people out there that would kind of probably scoff at that, but this was her this is her path. This is what she wanted to do, and she's absolutely happy. And she's done everything that she wanted, but she realized that she kept saying no. So now it's yes. So the year of yes. Wow. Seriously, I need to buy that book. I have not read it, but I know that just watching that show, that 1 hour show, just changed a lot. And I no longer feel as bad or as guilty or as, how I used to feel. Now I'm like, I'm starting to realize, no, it's okay. It is okay to not be okay. And I know I've mentioned that before in many of the other podcasts, but I feel that we need to keep reminding ourselves that it's okay to say yes to yourself. It's okay to say yes to getting your pedicure. It's okay to say yes to getting your hair done. It's okay if you want children and not get married. If that's what you want to do and that's what makes you happy and that's what you want for your life, then okay. It's nobody else's decision but your own. It's your life. And you need to keep saying yes to it. And, I just, there's so many, I've been putting off my book for so long because I was scared. And I kept saying, no, I don't really need to do it. No one's going to read it. It's not going to make a big difference. It's not a big deal. So I kept saying no. I kept being afraid. I kept stepping away. Well, finally, the opportunity came up, and I said yes. This is what I want to do. And I know that I've had people tell me you have a story to tell, and that's the thing is that we all have a story to tell. And when it's time, we need to get our voice heard, and it's okay, and people will listen. And you have your tribe, you have your supporters, you have those people that are there. We just need to go. We need to open up our eyes and see them because they're right in front of you. And that's what took me so long to do is see what was right in front of me. So no more no's and more yeses. So write down a list of things that you kept saying no to, and then ask yourself, why did you say no to them? And then write how you're going to say yes to them because that's what you need and that's what you do. And that's what's going to make you happy. So I challenge you to question that. Are you going to say yes this year or are you going to keep saying no? And then why? So let's hear it. Leave a comment, share this, let me know what you think. If you want to hear any more, send me a message. Again, you can find me at awildridecalledlife.com. You can also find me at awildridecalledlife@gmail.com. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. Thank you for listening to The Truth We Hide, the Year of Yes. Thank you to Shonda Rhimes. Have a good day. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Thank you for listening to the Truths We Hide podcast, created by A Wild Ride Called Life. To find out more about our mission, visit www.awildridecalledlife.com.